So this is a solution to the first part of this rocket problem. That's one of the task sets we've been looking at. Consider the following class. The rocket class. It has two class variables, a double string array called planets visited and a string called rocketCode. It also has a constructor method which accepts a two-dimensional array of strings called planets, and it just assigns this to be equal to this. Sorry, it assigns this to be equal to this. It also calls another method. It calls a method called generateRocketCode. Ooh, that's interesting. Let's have a look at that. GenerateRocketCode takes the first two letters of each string in planets visited. It takes the first two letters and creates a code. For example, if the array holds the following data, well, there are 3 rows and there are 2 columns, there are 5 planets and there is 1 null, the rocket code would hold the following string after generateRocketCode is called. Plevemameju. Plevemameju. So nulls are ignored. It doesn't consider that. So it's going in each row, it visits each column, and it takes away the first 2 letters if it's not null, and then creates a rocket code, which is just a string. That's all it is. Complete the generateRocketCode method of the rocket class. Note that it is used within the constructor method. Okay, so we just need to write this method. So I'm just going to set this up in Eclipse. This is what we've just seen. I've got my rocket class. It has 2 class variables, a 2-dimensional string array, and a string. This is the constructor method, which takes a 2-dimensional string array as a parameter and assigns it to the class variable. And it also calls this method generateRocketCode. This is what we're going to do at the moment. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to loop through the planets visited array. Visited.length. So this is going to loop me through the rows, and now I need to loop through the columns. To j is less than planets visited. Let's just choose the first row, the first row's length. We're assuming that all of the rows have the same length. There's the same number of columns for every row. So this is going to loop us through every column in the row that we're dealing in. And whenever we visit one of the strings in the array, all I'm going to say is if planets visited ij doesn't equal null, that means there must be some string available for us to look at. I'm going to say rocketCode is going to be equal to whatever the current value of rocketCode is plus planets visited ij dot substring 0, 2. And this will take the first 2 characters of the string in this string. So planets visited 0, 0. Well, let's go back to this is planets visited 0, 0. There is a string there. It's Pluto. So planets visited 0, 0 dot substring 02 will take away that PL. Then we'll move on to the next column. This is planets visited 0, 1. It's not null, so it will take away the VE, and it will just add it on to the PL. So PL, VE, MA, ME, JU, ignored. And that's my solution. Nothing is returned. We're simply creating the rocket code, which is a class variable.